Yeah, I would let. I swear to God, dude. I would honestly let every song just rock balls out to the end of time.
Yeah.
It'd be Zeppelin. It would be an 8-minute song. I don't care. I hate corny endings and let's diamond here. Let's
diamond on the floor.
Let's
diamond
pull them out and just lay them in the toilet water. You know what I mean?
What are you talking about again?
The end of a song.
Just let the band train wreck and multiple drum endings. And
yes. I've had songs where it would be a late night session. We used to do them later because we'd all drink bourbon. We'd do 2 sessions, one at 2 and one at 6 or whatever it is, and the late session would get ignorant because we just drink bourbon, and then the tracks were interesting sometimes. Yeah.
Man, I miss tracking with full band. The full band sessions. There's always a magic that happens.
You go ahead.
Well, you got to figure. I mean, and track demos, over the past number of years. I mean, obviously it's cost effective and that's creative too. Like there's a value in that as well. But man, people move from all over the dang world, certainly all over the country, because they think that they've got something to offer the town, whether you're a guitar player, a drummer, bass player, whatever. And so by the time you get to top call level in Nashville, I mean, you are pretty badass. And so
best musicians in the world here.
Best musicians, man. And then so you get in there. How about the fun and the joy? It's pure crack for me. Where you have where you got a shitty ass work tape and they get out there and just freaking crush.
It blows people's minds.
Yeah.
Like even songwriters, like John Kahn, LA songwriter.
Yeah.
And he was like, he works with musicians out there, and then he comes here and he's like, these dudes are just different. He's like, man, they just write numbers on a piece of paper and they don't pay attention to the work tape really, and then they go in and they just slay.
Yeah.
I'm not supposed to say slay, I guess. My daughter's told me not to say slay.
Don't be cringe.
It has a different connotation now.
Yeah. Whatever that is.
Dude, it and the energy when it's just a full-blown demo, when you're in there and you see the players and you got some dudes out there just walk.
And you can kind of tell. I do love how instantly you could tell if it's magic or not.
Yeah.
Like you can really you can feel in the moment.
Yeah.
Is this cooking or not?
Yeah.
And then you can and they know too. Like they can feel it out there. It's a unspoken just feeling that's in the air. It's like this rocks or it doesn't.
Yeah. And I love that my guys, especially, I've been around most of them long enough to where they know what I want, but it's like they are producers too.
Yep.
We talked about this with the award-winning session player the other day, and he was just like, man, you guys don't get enough credit for your innovation and what you bring to the song when you go from, like you said, shitty work tape to blowing my hair back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, let's put on our big boy pants.
Yeah, one leg at a time. Make some gold records.
Frothy.
Yeah,
it's frothy.
Oh my gosh.
It's frothy. It gets frothy in there sometimes. Feel that.
Feel that. What does it feel like?
It's wild, dude. Like I've doing demo sessions over the years. I got a lot of songs on my MacBook demos that like sound like records, because back in the day, like the top session guys for demos, Derek Wells, Evan, on drums. You got Dave Cohen on keys and stuff. And
Dave is the one I was talking about.
It's like all these guys they're all over all the Morgan. Read the credits wherever you read credits on Apple Music and stuff, and on Morgan Wallen's record, Hardy. All these guys, these are all the top dog now session guys on records, master records.
It's bananas.
Yeah.
Welcome to Twangtown. I am David Tolliver.
And I'm Colt Mirsky.
Tolberowski.
Yeah.
I got to do it different every time because it's become a thing.
Yeah.
But it needs to be a different thing every time.
You got to mix it up.
Yeah.
And today we have with us Jason Blaine.
What's going on, everybody?
I'll give him one, dude.
Some applause. Here we go.
Yeah.
I never skipped an applause
that
before.
Glitchy
That's
applause.
the Jay Leno applause button right there.
Remix.
Yeah.
What are you doing, man?
Yeah, that's funny. I grew up in Canada, as we might discuss, but there's no late night shows in Canada, but there was one guy years ago. They tried to Canadian version of, our own Tonight Show going on or something like that. But I feel like they forgot to include that applause button. Like, because it was like, there's no way. I mean, maybe I've never been to a live, taping like back in the day. I grew up on David Letterman and Jay Leno. We're that era, so that's how we're older. But yeah, there's always like a every single joke, even if it's like. Meh.
Yeah, they tell everybody when to clap and laugh. And
I got in my car and I listen to Comedy Channel most of the time, just because you know how it is. We hear so much music that we need a break from it sometimes.
Same.
Yeah, but I was listening to, and the comedian was talking about Dave Letterman. He just did a show at Ball State, and he was like, "Yeah, you know who went to Ball State? David Letterman." It's weird. Shit. Wow. Yeah, and he has a scholarship. It's like for broadcast and film and TV scholarship. And they have to be in that field, and they can't have above like a C average or something. It's ridiculous.
You got to be really struggling. Yeah,
I don't know if that's true or not. It may just be the comedian, but that sounded funny in my head.
Yeah, probably is.
You're from Canada.
I am.
Which province?
Americans.
Province.
You don't know.
Which
you guys don't know anything, eh?
Yours.
I'm from. I love Jim Gaffigan. Speaking of comedians, he's got a bit on Canada because he toured up there.
Dude, he's got the whole thing about it.
He's so funny. He's like your country. He does that voice. Your country looks like it was a geography project assembled late on a Friday. He's like, you were so. I love where he said. He's like, you were so detailed in the East Coast. It's like you got like New Brunswick, Cape Breton, Nova Scotia, and then PEI and all this stuff, and then you're just like Ontario, Manitoba, Alberta, BC, done.
That's it.
You're like this massive landmass. Good enough,
dude. One of his albums is all names of towns in Canada.
Is it really?
Like, he's like Regina. He's like, you basically just gave up on that one, didn't you? It's like, you dirty bastards.
Man, it's true. I grew up in just outside of Ottawa in a little town called Pembroke, and it was funny. I moved here 18 years ago with my wife and our 3-month-old baby girl who just turned 18 2 weeks ago, which is wild. I was warned by one of my good buddies. His sweet wife told me I used to crash on their couch. Derek Rattan, actually, him and his lovely wife Margaret used to let me crash on their couch out in Whites Creek when I first started coming down here. Before I moved here, and she was like, honey child. She's called me honey child. She's like, you welcome to move down here, honey child. We'd love to have you, but I gotta warn you, it's a time warp town. You're gonna wake up and 10 years are gonna go by like that.
Yeah. Wow.
And it's so true. But I grew up in small town Pembroke, Ontario, and I grew up on FM country radio. Like I grew up on 90s country. My dad is a musician, still plays in a cover band to this day. He's turned 70 this fall and still carries his gear and sets up.
No shit.
Nice.
Yep, I keep some gear home with him, and I'll go up and I'll sit in with his band, and we'll play till 2 a.m. and have so much fun.
I wish my dad was alive and I could tell him about me playing. It's great, dude.
Man, it's
bring it down.
I can't tell if you're serious. And I never know if this guy's serious.
He's very serious.
I'm just serious. It's fine. That dude, that's awesome. So your dad still plays. Did you grow up playing music? I mean, is that something he put in?
Yeah, very much so. I have uncles that played on, my mom's brothers, they had a band, and then my dad's, and it was funny because they were kind of like rival small town bands. They didn't like each other necessarily. That's
amazing.
I don't know, they're competing in the small market or whatever, but
Band Wars.
As a kid, I got to go to Band Wars.
It's the nicest band wars of all time.
Yeah, totally.
It's Canadian band wars.
Totally. But it's so great. Like I got to, as a little kid, and they didn't play a lot of bars and stuff. So, I remember being, as a little boy, like my mom could take me out and they would do like maybe this exists in small town America too, but like certainly small town Canada, they'll serve a late lunch with little square sandwiches and coffee and stuff like that. So polite.
We don't know anything about that.
In little rec halls, little community centers and stuff. No.
Yeah, nah, not here.
Yeah, that's the way it was growing up. So I was able to go like where you didn't have to be of legal drinking age. So as a kid, I got to go, and these guys might as well been Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers to me. Like it was as through the eyes of an 8-year-old, a 10-year-old. I just thought it was so cool, and so my dad, it came very natural. He just started showing me some chords on guitar, and away I went. By the time I was 12, 13 years old, I saw Garth Brooks for the first time. He came to Ottawa Utah, and I saw him up there in the lights. It was my first concert I ever went to, and there he is, and he does the Garth thing, and
Yes.
he stops singing, just plays, probably playing The River or something, and the whole place just took over singing. I'm like, that is the coolest thing. It blew my mind. What does that feel like to have that many people singing one of your songs back to you? And I was determined. I never looked back. From that moment on, I told everybody who would listen, I'm going to move to Nashville one day. I'm going to record, make records in Nashville, and I'm going to have my songs on the radio. And I've, to a much lesser extent, I mean, I've lived those moments on big festival stages in Canada. We might have 15,000 people, at the top of it, and people singing one of my career songs back to me. And, that's what it's all about. That's why we write songs, is just to, get in front of an audience and live that dream, and and play with my band. And this summer has been a busy summer. I love getting out on the road and playing with my band and just knocking around, having a great time.
There's nothing like it, man.
Yeah. Humans coming together. That's the one thing that AI can't take away, man.
Yeah.
The pure joy of humans. Bass player, drummer, guitar player. It's still rock and roll.
You hear that, Skynet? Kiss our ass. Did you go to school? I mean, did you go to college up there?
I took in my hometown, I took a 2-year business program.
Yeah.
And, as not as a backup plan, but as, penance for screwing up through high school. And, I had to learn how to read.
What?
Yeah, well,
in college?
By the time I got to college, I realized, day one, even just small town community college, they're like, okay, and here's the reading material for tonight, and it's like,
so you had to learn how to read material, not like actual read the letters and stuff.
Yeah, no, but
okay.
I realized, I'm like, man, I've never read this much in my life. Like, here's 5 chapters in 5 different classes that you got to get through tonight, and there's a test tomorrow. I'm like, holy shit!
I think that's why I didn't do well in college. Because I didn't want to read.
No,
I didn't start reading until last year, in depth. I've read 12 books now within a little over a year.
I just started doing it again. It was funny that we're talking about this because a friend of mine, I saw this John Grisham novel, The Judge's List, and she had it out the other day, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. I need to read again. She's like, take that one. I'm done with it. She's like, it's awesome. And so on planes, instead of being on my phone, I've been reading, in my travel. And dude, you know what's scary though? It's scary how freaking ADD our brains are.
You think?
Yeah. I haven't read
us.
Yeah. I haven't read a book like that in a long time. And it's a good exercise. You have to freaking focus. You realize, oh yeah, okay, so I've turned 2 pages and I haven't been actually reading them. But my mind has been wandering.
I have to reread. What I did, I started with Hemingway.
Oh yeah.
Which is just
not the place to start.
It's great literature, but it will tune your head to that because you have to fucking pay attention. And then after 5 Hemingway books, I was like, oh, okay, Dad need break. So I went to Stephen King, and that's just he's weird, as all get out, but he is a brilliant man too. He wrote himself into a book, writing about the book within a book.
Whoa. It's like some Inception stuff
like the
right
15th wall. I don't know how he did it.
I remember seeing online there was a thing kind of rules, writer rules of Stephen King, and it came across, and one of them, I don't remember them all, but I remember one of them, one of the top rules was always kill your darlings.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's dark.
Isn't that true? And that's what a lot of the great movies or series or whatever, whether it's Sons of Anarchy or whether it's whatever, they make you fall in love with the character. Breaking Bad was freaking great at that.
Oh yeah.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
They kill
it's
everybody.
Like you were not safe.
Yeah.
Your favorite character is not safe, especially in Game of Thrones. Was it the king? Like he died first season. You're like, wait, what?
Ned Stark died first, first
Ned
few
Stark.
episodes. I was like, this dude's awesome. He's going to be what?
Yeah.
They cut his head off. It's somebody's not going to save him. Sorry,
great
you
writing.
haven't seen.
What
spoiler
great
alert.
writing. When you can elicit that kind of a response from your viewer or your listener or whatever, and you're like, no, how dare you?
It was one of those series that you hated the bad characters so passionately.
Joffrey.
It wasn't that you liked
Bitch.
Joffrey. What's his name, Ramsay. Ooh, Ramsey Bolton. Ooh, that dude cut all dude's wiener off. No, but you hated those characters so much. It wasn't that you liked the really good characters that much, but you hate it. It made you feel that emotion.
Yeah.
It's like people when they hear my music, they hate it so much that.
What's the brother? It's got to be tough, hey, as an actor too. Like what's the brother like that we all hate in Yellowstone? You know, like
oh yeah, the not brother.
Yeah, Jamie. They call him
but
Jamie.
He's such a good actor.
Yeah. But it's just like, man, if I saw him in another role, I'd be like, man, I already don't like you.
Some of those
such a prick, Jamie.
Dude, some of those people have to get on social media and are like, look, I'm not my character.
Yeah, no,
right.
You know, don't hate me
for real, right?
Don't they get death threats and stuff? Like, wow, I know.
How dare you for ruining the Dutton Empire?
Yeah. Wow.
And it's crazy. Like writing, I'm always interested. We were talking about this because we were just on the road. We just did a writer's retreat, and we were talking.
We did,
and we had a blast. And then we were talking about stand-up comedians and stuff, and the parallels between that and songwriting, right?
Yeah.
Like how you can, how they help. You know, I heard Jerry Seinfeld say not too long ago that like he had been working on a bit for a decade.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
Whether it's so interesting writing, you know, creative writing. Whether you're writing a movie, which is nuts, or a book, you know,
I don't know how
comedy.
people do that.
Yeah, I know. We write 3-minute songs.
Yeah, we write 3 minutes movie stories.
Yeah,
and you know, I mean,
how many lines in a hit song? Again, it's like under 20 or something like that.
1,400,000.
You know.
I don't know maths.
It's probably under 20 if you just a basic standard song.
Well, if you've got 4, 8, and then you probably got 8, 10 lines of a chorus.
Yeah.
And then 4,
that's
maybe
like 20. Yeah,
20 lines.
I don't have the math.
2 verses.
Do you have a calculator?
3 choruses, maybe a bridge.
Can I use your toes?
Yes,
to count.
But obviously, you know, there's great virtue in that too, because you know you have to do so much more with so much less too. You know, you only have, you know, under 20 lines to change the world with a song.
Yeah,
you know,
3 minutes. Yeah,
3 minutes.
You can't really build a backstory for a character unless you do a concept album. Unless you're Pink Floyd The Wall.
Yeah,
you can't. And we're never going to see that again. I don't think that's reserved for Broadway now.
Yeah.
That made I don't know if that made sense. I think it made sense, right?
I know what you mean. Garth Brooks knows what you mean. That's
Garth.
why.
That's why he doesn't want to. I do country music too, dude.
Yeah, for real.
I saw him in my little just outside my hometown is Hazard, Kentucky. And they have a Black Gold Festival. It's a big county festival.
Yeah,
and you know there's thousands and thousands of people. This was like 1991, and I walked out of the Pizza Hut and heard this music playing, and it was The Dance. I was like, holy shit, and went over, and it was just, I mean, this dude was just slaying it.
Yeah.
He's climbing on stuff, and he's in this tiny little stage in Main Street, Hazard, Kentucky, you know, playing his ass off. And then, of course, the next year, he's playing
Did you see
arenas.
him again years and years later?
Yes, I saw him at Rupp Arena, which is our big basketball arena in Lexington, Kentucky. I saw him after that, and I'm like, oh, it's just...
Like after you had been an artist and a writer in the industry?
Yeah, I have since then. Yeah, I watched him at Bridgestone.
See, that's what I mean. Like, I saw him when I was 13, and then I saw him in 2017. My wife and I took a trip down to Memphis and did the whole Sun Records thing, which was awesome. And then saw Garth down there, and I was fully prepared to, you know, I was realizing that, like, okay, I saw him through a child's eyes, you know, and he's Superman, and I was prepared to be let down a little bit. No freaking way.
Not at all. I was going to say,
not a way.
He's got it down, man.
He's maybe even better now,
it
but
was
he was
more impactful because the songs grew, didn't they? The songs got even bigger than they were at the time.
And the generations that you have in front of you watching the show, you've got 10-year-old kids up to 80-year-old people.
Yeah.
My
And
wife
they're
looked
all
over at me, dude. My wife looked over at me, and I got a tear coming down my face. I'm not even going to lie. I'm man enough to tell you, because there I am, transported. Garth busts into... God, no, totally. I am. I'm daughters will do that to you, but I'm just transported. He busts into. I went to work for her that summer. He busts into that one, and I'm instantly there. I am. I'm 13, 14, around the campfire with my dad and some uncles and some older guys that are no longer with us. But I remember just it's such a beautiful thing. You know, we weren't we weren't on video games constantly. Like
No.
that was growing up, and I thank my parents so much for that upbringing. We we went to a trailer park for it's no different. We lived in a trailer park all summer long, and I rode my bike everywhere. And then the evenings, the guitars came out, and the guys had 6 or 12 pack or 24 beer, and I'd sit there just watching their fingers and learning to play these songs. Garth, Alan Jackson, Brooks and Dunn, Travis Tritt, Vince, all the good shit, man. All the good stuff. So now it's funny, I didn't come to Nashville this way. I realized that real fast. I made my very first trip down here. I went down to Lower Broadway, and I'm an okay guitar player. I'm pretty good enough I got offered a gig that first time, and it only took me a couple of hours when I came to town, but I climbed into a 12-passenger van, and I'm out to Illinois learning like 45 songs for this girl.
Wow.
$300, drank $225 of it, and spent the rest on hot dogs at the fair that we were at. So I made no money, and I'm like, okay, I can't move to Nashville this way. And I never played Broadway again until just a couple years ago. I ran into some buddies that are Broadway warriors, dude. They hit it 3-4 times a day.
I don't know how they do that.
It's exhausting, but I got them. I told them, hey, if you guys need a sub, call me up. And so every now and then I play AJ's.
No shit.
2 to 6.
Wow.
That's great.
And I play 90s country to my heart's content. And I get to scratch that itch because I do fly up to Canada, like I do all year, and especially in the summertime. And I'm very blessed and very lucky that country radio up there has been really good to me. And I could play 75-minute set of top 20, top 10, top 15 hits, and of all my stuff, and maybe a couple covers. I do a little section in the show now if we're playing in 90 where I'll do like 15-20 minutes of covers and stuff like that, if it's a 90, because 90s are like deadly long. But it's so fun just to play just like my dad does, like just to play with a band for the sheer joy of it. And especially that night.
Let's talk to that a little bit. So you went to school for a little bit up there. Did you immediately jump back out and start playing music, and you never quit? You just kept going.
Yeah.
And how? I mean, I know you had quite a bit of success in Canada. Still do.
Yeah.
It's so weird when you go from country to country. I was even in Australia, and I'm talking about Lee Brice, and some people are going, "Who?"
Yeah.
I'm like, it's fucking Lee.
Yeah,
they're like,
right.
sorry, mate.
Who, like I told you, and I mean this in the most sincere way possible. Lee is like one of my absolute favorites, and I know that he's in this in this circle, and you guys are good buddies with him. But I just think the world of that guy. I don't even know him as well as you guys do, but I think I love the songs he writes or cuts. And I love the way he sings them. He should be, a global star.
He's one of the most talented people that I've ever been around. And I didn't, because we were friends. Yeah. We've been friends for 20 years. And you don't really think of you. I mean, I saw it back then, but his progression till now, his musicality, I guess, has come, 100-fold from where we were back in the day.
Oh my gosh!
His ears, his production, his singing, everything has just advanced. I mean, it speaks to him working hard toward that.
Well, I'll be honest. I'll tell you something. So my career has spanned I moved to Nashville. So out of college, here's the story, super quick. Here's the story.
Man, give it to us.
Out of college, I moved down to Southern Ontario. My wife and I, we're high school sweethearts. Chased her till she caught me.
Chased her till she gave up.
Honestly, no. I just married the first girl. Let me feel a boob. I'm like, I love you. I love this. I'm gonna marry you.
Isn't it funny?
I'm gonna keep you forever.
How it used to be though. It was like, how did you and Grandma meet? Well, he just kept coming by the house over and over again until I finally went out with him. Then he put his finger inside. It's
what?
Huh?
Grandma?
What? Right. And we
gotta get rid of that.
Dude,
I thought we were back at Evans Mill.
Feels like it.
We moved together kind of from our small town, Pembroke, and she had a background in early childhood education, so we both moved. We had to get out of it. I love my hometown dearly, but there wasn't a lot for we always want to leave your small town, chase your dreams. I knew I wanted to ultimately end up in Nashville, but that's 1,000 miles away, like literally by the numbers, and too far for a move at 20 years old. It was too big, too much.
Yeah.
So moving to the Toronto area, they call it the GTA, Greater Toronto Area. There's a whole stretch of like the interstate, the Highway 401. You can play, a 4-hour stretch of, towns and cities along the way, country bars.
Yep.
And so it was early 2000s. So it was, God bless, God rest, like Toby Keith music. Yeah. It was early Keith Urban.
Yeah,
I mean, we played.
Still had a gap in his teeth. Keith Urban,
We played Somebody Like You probably twice a night. Up there, and it was a really fun time. I needed to grow. I need to get out of my hometown. And there were some studios that I hung out at, and I would kind of just hang. I was a studio rat, just hang out with them and write songs and with whoever I could write songs with. And then we did that for about 5 years. So 21 almost to 26.
Played the little circuit, hung around the studios.
Played the circuit, made about $1,000 to $1,200 a month just being a loser boyfriend to my wife. Like just serious, she should have dumped my ass, honestly. She made the money then and she had a good job at the university, and then we got married we were like 22, 23.
Oh my Lord.
We were super young, just babies, and then a couple years later, we got pregnant with our daughter, and we just had to try for a couple years.
Yeah.
But we got pregnant with our daughter. It was a perfect time because Canada has maternity leave. So she still gets partial pay for the year.
Yeah.
And I had won this talent contest, this nationwide talent contest.
What was that called?
It was called Project Discovery, and it was put on by the CCMA and Participating Radio, and at the time CMT Canada. So it was a legit contest.
That's a strong one right there.
Yeah, and I mean, I was freaking rich. I won $10,000.
Yeah, baby.
What's that, like 400 American?
Definitely. Dude, at the time, that was the most money I'd ever had at once. But what was cool is that it was you got a song produced and some participation from radio and stuff, and I own the publishing on it. And those songs do not pay like what American stuff pays. But I think all at the end of the day, because I wrote that song myself, it probably made 50 grand plus the 10 I won.
It's great.
And we just kind of we didn't even I had that mostly spent on credit card debt and shit, but we just packed up, and honestly, we moved here, dude. We probably had $5,000. We moved here, and we moved in with a sweet lady, Tammy Brown, who was in publishing at it was called Olay. It's Anthem now.
Olay.
Did you? I wonder if you ever knew Tammy Brown. She was a wonderful lady.
I didn't know Tammy, but I knew some people who worked over there, like Gilles Godard.
Gilles,
he used to write here at Curb back in the day when I first started.
Yeah. He's still a great friend, and getting inducted into the Hall of Fame this year.
Saw that,
so we'll be there to cheers to him.
Yeah, Gilles is very French Canadian.
Wow,
he's a wonderful guy. But that was the beginning, man. That was.
I wrote with you when you wrote Olay.
No freaking way.
I'm pretty sure we did.
We might have. I was never a writer there, believe it or not, though. I just had a lot of friends that wrote there.
Where were you? Were you at BMG?
I was originally signed by Phil O'Donnell at Anchordown.
Phil
Billy and Noah Gordon. It was a co-venture between those guys, and they produced a record on me. And here's where the story picks up. It's like I moved to town, and with my 3-month-old baby girl, with like maybe $5,000, and within months, those guys, I had been making trips down, and I figured if I actually showed that I was committed to being here, maybe they would sign me, and they did. And the companies, it was a co-venture, and they cut a record on me, and we ended up putting it out through it was Koch Entertainment at the time. They didn't want to sign with it, they owned it, so they didn't want to sign with any of the majors because they wanted to shop me down here. So we put it out up in Canada, and like I had like 5 top 10 hits inside of a year and a half up there.
That's amazing, man.
And that was in 2007. And like first song went number 1 by like that September of literally less than a year later. It was like my life changed, and then it was 2007 right to 2017 of pretty consistent trips to the top 10 up there, and summer festivals, and then 2008 happened, and then their investors of those companies kind of scaled back, and they didn't re-sign me after 3 years, and I floated for 4 years, and then was signed actually at Curb from 2014 to 2020. And
really,
yeah.
Well, it was me, you, and Tebe.
I bet it was.
Yeah, Tay-Bay. That's who was.
Shit, I remember
he
now.
was at BMG or somewhere like that, or he was at Olay.
He was at BMG.
Okay, that's what it was. All right,
dude.
All right, cool.
That was definitely, it's nuts, and I feel really shitty about that, really bad. But there are rights, like during some of those seasons where I did them, and maybe we did them one time, and they're just a blur.
No,
like,
we did one time. I demoed the song though.
Yeah,
I remember the first time we wrote again. He was like, "Hey, I'm Jason Blaine." And I'm like, "Really, dude?"
Yeah, I used to be that guy, and I haven't been that guy a lot.
Big old douche.
Just every other co-write.
It's fine. It's like, now we're good friends, so it's fine.
Anybody who's if you've gone through a season where you're just really working your ass off, flying from one thing to the next, just trying to feed your babies, it's bound to happen. It's terrible.
Dude, I've done it to my family. Like, I don't know you.
Yeah. I got 4 kids. Which one is it?
Yeah.
So, David, I'm your mother. I'm like, who? What's a mom?
Wow.
Oh, son of a gun. When you came here in 2006. Yeah. What have you been going on? What's been going on in the past few years that you're excited about that you've
Oh, lots, man. It's been really wild. I was trying to do double duties for years, trying to keep my artist thing going in Canada, and very grateful for that. And it was a little, this is what I tell people, it was a little like a frog in a pot thing, analogy where you don't know that something's wrong. I wrote a Curb for 6 years, and the first 3 were awesome. I was writing, and everything's great on that side, and I'm getting some cuts with Chris Jansen and Scotty McCreery and a bunch of other people. And then over here on the artist side, I'm still having hits and everything up in Canada. But then the next 3 years, from 2017 to 2020, a couple things happened. There was a bunch of new artists from Canada emerge and become big stars. Yeah. And they kind of take your slot at radio. It's bound to happen. And major labels had signed up people, and I wasn't on a major label. So that's when I first felt radio starting to wane. The first couple things didn't go. And I'm like, oh, shit, well, that's weird. And you try it again and try again. And
that's weird.
I was like, this, I don't know what to do about this. And
don't like it.
Yeah.
No, that's icky. That's icky. But, and again, I'm trying to do both things, write and keep that going. And then 2020 happened.
Yeah.
Right.
You mean when the world shut down?
When the freaking world shut down
and got sideways.
Yeah. And dude, like, talk about like being out of a pub deal. Going, okay, well, we still have a bunch of shows on the books, a bunch of tour dates, and then by March it's like all that's gone.
No, we don't.
And I'm turned 40 that year. And I got 4 babies, and everything else. And I felt I went through my loser self-pity, time for a couple months. And couldn't get out of bed in the morning. And I'm not a person who gets depressed, but it was a messed up time. I had to, just pep talk it. I'm like, okay, like, get your shit together,
dude.
Get to the gym, get back, get up, write, record, and get it back, and then I would for a few months, and then we're still doing this in 21. It was like a roller coaster of up and down.
We all were the same way.
Shit, man, it went on forever.
I sat in our master bedroom window, and because I had a desk, Jenna, I had a little desk at first, and I was just sitting up there writing by myself. Didn't know what to do, and at night we would play Halo. Me and Jenna together and watch Netflix and all that shit that everybody did. But I remember writing, and we ordered a bigger desk so I could sit more and do more stuff with that. And it was like she was working downstairs and I'm upstairs, and 8-9 months in, I'm going, I don't know what to do.
Yeah,
this is bananas.
I tell you what, though, man, it was a find out what you're made of kind of a time.
For sure.
I did the silver lining is I got to spend some real quality time with my kids, and you don't have little kids forever.
Nope.
So they were little kids in that season, and like I said, my daughter just turned 18 and graduated. So those were some precious times with her, and but also for myself, it was I really found out something about myself. I mean, I really picked back up. I did a record called Diamonds in the Desert with a good buddy of mine, Jay Took, a record that I always wanted to do. It was, a combination. My influences, my deepest influences are Vince Gill.
Oh yeah,
Number one, Vince Gill.
Yeah, he's
older
amazing.
sounding things today that people call Chris Stapleton music, but they don't know it's just a different voice. It's just it's older. It's rooted in bluegrass and blues and traditional country.
Yeah,
and all the good stuff. And so, and then the Eagles too. That's a great relationship thing that really binds my father and I is my love for the Eagles, which really makes sense. Vince Gill in the Eagles.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And then the past decade, I got a man crush on John Mayer, like every other guitar player out there, and all the great records like Paradise Valley and Born and Raised and the country blues combination. So I did a record as my best effort to really empty that tank creatively. It's called Diamonds in the Desert, and some of the tracks made it onto some really cool playlists like Coffee Country House or Country Coffee House.
It's alliteration.
Yeah. And so so it made it on there, and I turned into that road, and I'm going to continue to do some more of that music. I didn't co-write a lot of it. I wrote most of the tracks myself because I'm
selfish.
Well, no, I'm going like, why would anybody want to write this with me? I'm not writing it for the radio, and you're not going to make any money, so I don't know what I can offer you. Like,
that's a good point.
Make it worth your time.
That's a good point.
And I didn't even know what I wanted to say. There was like Diamonds in the Desert was a different mode of songwriting. It was very stream of consciousness writing. And you're an asshole in the room if you're writing stream of consciousness with two other people. You're like, you don't know what you're trying to articulate yet. But anyways, I'm super proud of that record. And that record led me back to the mainstream, where last year I literally managed to write myself back onto the radio.
Good for you, dude.
Yeah, baby.
You deserve it, man.
Thank you, buddy.
You're one of our dudes, and your talent is everything.
Man. You know what it was, buddy? I appreciate that. And it's very sweet. I had read some quote from John Rich of all people. It was a bit of a little bio thing on him, and he's like, he's a badass. I mean, he's like ornery. I suspect
he's
and
definitely
stuff.
ornery.
But it was kind of his story, and he got like fired from Lone Star, and he had like not a pot to piss in like an apartment in Nashville, and he said, as long as he's like, give me a blank piece of paper, a pen, and my guitar, and I'm still gonna be competing. You're never gonna get rid of me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's the attitude to have, Bubba. That's the attitude.
You have to.
And I was like, so thank you, John Rich. I was like, you know what? And I did. I wrote a song called The Road That Raised You Up. And against all odds and against major labels and lots of competition, with, I guess, courtesy of maybe people thought the song was good, but, friends at radio over the years, they let me back in. We had a big old top 10 last summer that just set up a great summer, and I hope folks go and check it out.
Dude, that's such a good story.
I love that.
And you tell it so quickly.
I don't know. I don't want people to tune out. I just don't want to bore anybody, but
no, they won't tune out. No, man, it's the redemption stories like that. It's you went from the top dog to underdog, and now you're back, and that's great. And I cannot wait to write some songs and get number ones in Canada.
Come on,
it's going to be awesome.
And you mentioned this weekend that you just won an award. What was that award? And tell us how that came about.
Yeah, so I was up for Single of the Year at the Ontario. Canada's got like regional awards. Alberta's got one, and Ontario's got one, and it was stiff competition in the category for Single of the Year and Songwriter of the Year, and I ended up winning both of those.
Yeah, you did.
And so it was really cool, and it was voted on by my peers up in Canada, and there's even songs in the category that had more, maybe even had more streams, but it was like, all things being equal, I did it as an independent, and I don't have the connections to a lot of the big, huge playlists that some of the major labels can deliver. So we still have millions of streams on that song, and it was still a top 10 and number one at the time. And I'm like, I'm going to take these damn awards and say thank you.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's it, man.
I would love to have some awards.
It's you know what? I'll tell you this. It's been wild. I've got such a cool perspective. I was always a person to be be grateful. I always consider myself a humble person and stuff, but my now 18 years into this career, like it took, when I moved to Nashville, it took off like a rocket. And there was a moment where, you know, I was going to the awards and I was winning awards, and everybody, agents and managers and people want to talk to you, and you're the guy for a second.
Yeah.
And then I've also been in a lull
where
people are literally talking to you, but looking past you at who else is more important that they can talk to.
Yeah.
And, or you don't get invited to the parties.
Yeah.
And then I've also been the guy again. Now I get the things back on track and the phone's ringing and people are like, hey man, hey
You're
buddy,
so awesome.
we always love you. And so don't believe him. Don't believe him whenever you're crushing it, and don't believe him when you're not.
It's the truth, dude. I can't stand those people.
You know,
Colt's never been one of those people.
No.
He's always been an asshole to me.
I've just been very consistently assholish to you.
Yeah. Are you wearing a hooded shirt with
it's been cold in here all day.
with a
It's like 100
collared
degrees
shirt
outside,
under
but
it?
they have the AC on in like 60.
the buildings are always colder in Nashville in the summertime than they are in the winter.
They really are.
If you're a dad and you moved to Nolensville, do you get that outfit?
Yes.
Okay. Just making sure.
This is the Nolensville dad uniform.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna we're coming to box Friday.
Are you?
Yeah. I'm gonna
I'll be working while you're boxing.
It's funny. The dad thing is funny. There was a picture of me. I did like some promo for a video for that song "Road That Raised You Up," and I'm wearing ripped jeans. I'm wearing this cool black shirt with some distress on the front, and I'm wearing Nike shoes. And Bailey's saying, there's a picture of Bailey.
Did you say Nike?
Nike, yeah.
Okay.
And I got my hair coming
That's
out the
short for
back,
Nike.
and I'm like, and my daughter, she's like, you look like such a dad in your dad shoes. I'm like, what the? I'm dressed exactly like Bailey Zimmerman. Look at this picture of Bailey Zimmerman. I mean, what's the difference? She's like, you're wearing Air Maxes, Dad.
Come on, man.
That's not like nobody. That's so lame. And then so she's like, let me take you to the store and pick you out some cool shoes.
She picked you New Balance.
Yeah, no. She picked me out these Nike ones, and like they're apparently they're
I
a cool
love
thing.
that you say Nike.
Is that not what they are?
It's called, the company's called Nike.
Bullshit.
What?
Yeah, it's Nike.
Tell me you're fucking with us.
But here's
Nike. You always say Nike.
That's what it's called.
Yeah.
Nike.
Nike.
I never say that. Maybe did we just stumble upon a different Canada and America thing? Maybe it's just me.
Does everybody in Canada call them Nikes?
I just call them Nike. Yeah,
it's Nike.
I thought it was like a nickname.
I grew up
like Mikey. Yeah. Like, hey, Mikey, but his name's Mike.
I grew up in small town East Kentucky, right?
Yeah.
Really rural area, 600 people in my hometown. But I called them Nike growing up too.
Did you really?
Yes. And then I just out of, I was like, oh, it's Nike.
Did you not have access to a TV and see Nike commercials growing up?
You've been to East Kentucky, dude.
Okay, you didn't have a TV.
Yes, we had, but, we also say Scat Tom gets your tail out of the gravy when somebody sneezes.
What?
Scat Tom gets your tail out of the gravy.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, but
these are the same people that are like, y'all from Canada, y'all talk funny.
Yeah,
exactly.
You don't talk funny anymore. No, but I said it in front of Jenna. I was like, Nike. She goes, what did you just say? She's like, no, it's Nike. And I'm like, I know, but, sometimes we call it Nike. But it's just hilarious that you said that. It is Nike, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Well, you're too far in the game to go back now.
Yes, but I'm 44. You can't. Nike. As I said,
you can change anything, man. You can change your ways.
But the funny thing is, this is where you're a dad. I just kind of owned it because she picked me out these other Nike shoes, and I'm like, you know what? I'm like, fuck this. I like the Air Maxes more. They're more comfy.
Yeah,
I think they look cooler.
I need the comfort, not the style.
Yeah, and I think they look cooler. They were like those look like boat shoes. Those look like
boat shoes.
If I was going boating,
topsiders,
and I had a sweater tied around my neck.
Can you do it as Trump? Come on, dude.
I was afraid that you were gonna.
Oh, for those who don't know, Jason does an amazing Trump impersonation.
This killed me all weekend.
Oh,
especially
my gosh.
after the whole ear incident that just happened.
Yeah. Well, they tried to take my ear. And I can't tell you how much I hated wearing this Band-Aid last night at the convention. It really makes my hair look messy.
I close my eyes and he's right there.
I'm so much cooler than this Band-Aid.
And no Band-Aids.
You could tell he hated that Band-Aid,
I was thinking, though, was it, did you need that much? Did you need a whole ear condom? Seriously.
It was like an ear muff.
He probably got stitches.
Well, I don't know,
stitch, bro.
I lost more hair than Orvander Holyfield, believe me.
And he's a big guy. I think for the rest of the podcast, you have to talk in Trump voice.
Oh, dude, when you were doing Homer Simpson and
oh my gosh,
Trump, that could be a bit, right?
Man, that
100% is.
Well, in my second term, I promised Homer. There's a great guy from Springfield. Okay, you might have heard of him. They call him Homer. His name is Homer. He's a tremendous guy. Tremendous guy. Loves his family. Loves his family. He said, Donald. He said, Mr. Trump. He calls me Donald. He said, what happened to Space Force? Because there was a lot of hype about Space Force, and I want to know about Space Force.
If you close your eyes, it's like he's really in the room.
I can't. I'm crying.
What I want to know is, will there be lasers on it? Space Force.
I can't take it anymore.
Can I shoot the lasers? Yes, Homer, there will be lasers.
However many lasers you need.
I'm sweating now.
Somebody needs to cartoon that bit for me. If there's a cartoonist out there, get in touch with us, and I'll do the voices.
Matt Groening. I mean,
that should be a bit, right?
Yeah, Trump was all over the Simpsons for the longest time.
For years.
Predictions and everything.
Yeah.
That has killed me. Oh, you did it this weekend, and I peed a little bit.
Oh my gosh, that dinner, I never laughed so hard. I couldn't breathe.
Poor little Scoot, bless his heart. He didn't have a clue what was going on. He would just get caught off guard constantly.
Scoot's 23 years old, and he didn't know half the shit we were talking about.
No,
it's funny. Those youngins, they don't know. It's funny because I've been now doing it's been my go-to tour bus trick I figured out I could do the Trump voice like back in 2015, really.
Yeah.
And it's evolved over the years. It's evolved with Trump.
Yes.
It's a funny thing because you have to remember when he started in 2016, he talked slower and lower. Like, you remember the nose, remember the sniff? Like, he talked to Hillary, he said, because you'd be in jail. But as time went on and the media became more corrupt, it got grislier. And you have to evolve with the impression, right?
Oh, that's incredible. I love that you've honed that over the last, how many years is it? 10 years?
Dude, he pulled it out this year, and I think it was in the right, and I lost it. I can't do anything else.
But it's funny because people have been telling me for years, like, dude, you need to, if you did that on TikTok.
That's how old you are.
Right. If you did that on TikTok, you'd blow up. And I'm like, I don't want to be like known for that. I just want people to listen to my songs. But it's like nowadays, it's like people are doing anything to blow up on TikTok.
Well, it's better to do that than to be like dancing in your Nikes.
Yeah, and my Nikes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, there's probably enough Trump guys on TikTok, on TwikTok, but
did you see? I sent you guys this.
But I do it better. I do it better than them.
Did you see
much better, much greater than them?
Did you see the clip I sent you with what's his face?
Shane Gillis.
Shane Gillis doing Trump. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
Do you see him and the one doing Biden?
Yeah, I don't know who was doing Biden.
I don't either.
But that clip of him doing Trump, I was like, like, Jason's got to see this.
I wish I could do Biden and get them going. I can't get Biden down. Dana Carvey. Dana Carvey's really, really good.
You just got to
yeah.
That's it.
It's hard.
Whisper every now and then.
Yeah.
Listen to Trump.
I used to do impressions of George W. when I first moved to town too. We did you have to get the face like George W. Bush.
You gotta get the face.
I used to president as well. I'm a decider, make big decisions.
I used to president as well.
I mostly hang about on the ranch with Laura and paint paintings of my toes.
Have you always done that all your life?
I'm a kind of a hobby comedian. Too scared to ever get on stage, but it's like my tour bus tricks and stuff, especially when we're drinking.
Do some shit like that one night,
like Frank Caliendo, dude. If your music career ever tanks,
love him.
Just do the Frank Caliendo thing.
I love him, and my worst impression ever, and it's bad, and I know it's bad, but he walks. He's so good. Check out Frank Caliendo. He's awesome because
he's amazing.
He walks you through how to do Morgan Freeman.
Oh yeah,
and he's like, it starts with yes, and then they're like, truth to the matter is,
Yeah.
and I can't get it because you gotta. He's like, you gotta lower your voice and lower your voice, but he kind of teaches you how to do everybody. That guy is. He's a ninja. I love that guy.
When he first, John Madden's been dead for years now.
Yeah.
Oh God.
When he first came out and started doing Madden, that's when Madden was big and everybody's playing Madden, and Madden was still on football. Well, he was on Monday Night Football and all that. He would do him with and Pat Summerall, and it was just kids. You talk about Favre, and I roll, and he'd do the Super Friends, dude. Meanwhile,
maybe I'll do it. Does Zanies have an amateur night?
They do have an open mic night. Yeah, you can get up and do something. You need to go get up and do like a 5-10 minute thing, dude.
I've been trying to put together a bit, and I would no doubt like the Trump thing would be my go to. Like if it was tanking,
right?
If they didn't like any of my written humor, I'd pull the Trump stuff and some other impressions out or whatever. But I was working on writing a bit about all inclusive resorts. It's just like this would be like it'd be just like everybody's the same thing. They go, man, I don't like going to like those all-inclusive resorts in those weird countries and eat their food, and the people are like, well, you filled your plate full of Jello, wings, tacos, some random beef stuff, and mac and cheese, and drank 14 pina coladas. They're like, please don't shit in our pool.
It's fucking Americans.
It's the food here. That's what it was. It's the food.
Anytime we go out of the country, I tell everybody I'm Canadian.
Oh yeah,
I don't. No, it's a joke.
Oh
yeah,
we went to Bali like last year, and we went with a buddy of mine, Tom. If you're listening, I'm sorry. He's a sweetheart of a fella.
And he didn't have to call him out by name, but here we are.
Let's say his name was Tom.
Yeah,
Tom.
Short for Tommy.
Yes, everyone knows this. Nah, he's a sweetheart, dude. But I've said it to him too. We'd go. We were in these wonderful restaurants, and he would order like a cheese pizza, in Bali. Or chicken fingers. He wanted chicken fingers.
In Bali.
Yeah, it's like, dude, you eat
style.
like a 10-year-old.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to eat anything that they can fry and cover up what it actually is.
Dude, that food was
The chicken fingers are definitely monkey.
Yeah. We did. We went
monkey
to
fingers.
We went to the sacred monkey forest, and he goes, we had the tour guide. He looks at him. He goes, "Do you eat the monkeys?" Help him, Lord. Help him. Cure him of it.
That's so American.
It's dude. He bless his heart. He's a wonderful person. It is us.
Yeah,
it is us.
It's funny. It's like you get over there to Bali and people there and they speak English, and you're like, I have a question for you. Do you eat the monkeys?
If you slow it down and scream at them.
Yeah,
dude, these monkeys were awesome though. They were just running around this forest, and they would get on your shoulders and shit. I had monkey balls on my shoulder. Got pictures of it, but they were like, make sure you put your stuff in your pockets. Yeah. Don't have anything exposed because they'll grab it.
Yeah,
and this dude, I saw him and his wife and his daughter. Daughter had a little stuffed animal, stuffed unicorn, and this fucking monkey come out of nowhere, dude. Grabbed that unicorn and ran straight up a tree and got up there and just went to humping on it.
Oh my gosh!
No, he didn't start.
Oh, come on! Don't ruin the story.
But the guides have slingshots.
What?
And that dude was just beaning that monkey with that slingshot.
Are you serious?
And monkey finally dropped that unicorn. There's a crowd. I've got video of it. This dude is he's like a fucking sniper with that thing.
I would have just been like, sorry, you lost your unicorn.
Yeah. Well, they told you, It's like the monkeys will bite you.
Yeah.
What kind of monkeys were they?
I don't know.
We saw some monkeys in Costa Rica a couple of years ago. We were down there.
Where?
Costa Rica.
Nike.
Yeah, Tommy.
They make
Nikes
Nikes in Costa Rica.
What is it? Costa Rica.
Costa Rica. I don't know how they say it.
I think they say Costa Rica.
Costa Rica.
It's more like I'm saying it. Costa Rica.
Yeah, Costa Rica.
Yeah. I like how people too, with any little bit of Latino in them.
Yeah.
They're like, so my mother, and on my mother's side, she's Latino.
She's Latino.
They change their voices. Yeah.
Especially the people in the cooking shows.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm going to make some chicken fingers with some jalapeno.
With jalapeno enchiladas and tortillas.
Yeah.
No.
Like, wait a minute, you were just talking like me. A minute ago.
Yeah. Go back to where that was.
But there was monkeys down there in Costa Rica.
Costa Rica.
And they were like,
Dias.
they were like, they were like doing stuff. They were like diddling themselves in the trees.
Yeah.
So if you're down there with kids, it's like, what are the monkeys doing? And I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, well, don't walk under them, and they're just scratching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vigorously.
She's got a really itchy penis. Yeah.
There were a couple monkeys just going at it, and there's just little kids just sitting there staring at them, and I'm like, I don't know how you explain this away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just wearing each other out. I'm like, man,
They're just wrestling.
I am not far from y'all. You know?
This podcast has turned to monkeys
Yeah.
wagging off.
This is definitely a highlight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How you think babies is born? Baby monkeys. Do you eat those? Oh, where do you like to go eat in town? Do you have a place? Do you have a go-to?
Gosh, we eat I don't know, we eat a lot of Mexican food,
Yeah.
which in Mexico is just called food.
We eat a lot of food.
It's like, what do they call Chinese food in China? And it's like food.
Food.
Yeah, no, I don't know favorite places in town. I don't know. I know a couple of places, I won't name them, but like some of the high end places have like, overdone steak.
We discussed this.
It's kind of like it's expensive. It's expensive to go out, man.
Bro,
Like,
Nashville's gotten the food is definitely gotten elevated. It's much.
Yeah.
There's some great restaurants in town now.
How about the drinks in town, man? Like, wasn't it like 5-6 years ago? Like,
I don't know when beer went to like $10.
Right?
Buddy, we played a Riders Night not too long ago for 10 Penn South.
Yeah.
And I will not name this place, but I went in and I don't drink anymore. So I ordered a Coke and it was like $5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he didn't even give me the can.
Yeah.
I watched him pour it out of a can
Got a
about
half a
halfway, half Coke, and he said it's $5. And I'm like, no.
I wondered. I
can have that
wondered,
back.
man,
Yeah.
when where the line is. Like I've thought the same thing down at Nissan Stadium for CCMA Fest.
$30 a drink.
Yeah, and then going to a concert, like I went out. I took myself to John Mayer.
Yourself.
I did. I wasn't gonna go to the acoustic show because I'm like, man, I want to see Pino Palladino. I want to see Aaron Sterling on drums if I'm paying that kind of money, and drinks and everything. And then I decided the last minute, I'm like, oh, screw it, I'm gonna go. And I'm saying to my wife, I'm like, you sure you don't want to go? Like, let's just go. Let's go. And she's like, honey, like, I don't know, he doesn't do it for me. I'm like, well,
Wow.
clearly we have a different taste in men.
Yeah.
So I went down there and valeted at the Hilton. Oh shit! I just gave that away.
$1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, a bit of a hack, and then walked across the street and got a double pour of wine. So it's like $35.
Yep.
And then and watched the opener, which was JP Sachs, and he was awesome. And then, before John came out, you want to go take a leak and then go get another one. So it's like another double pour. So you can sit there all night for the show. And it's like, you're $75 into a couple drinks.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I wondered at Nissan Stadium, because it was like, you're right, it's like $18. And it's like, well, why not just
For a beer.
why
a
not
beer.
25? Why not?
Yeah.
Will people still pay at football
They will.
games?
Yes.
I mean, most of our crowd here, stuff is tourists. Is tourism, and they come in town with a wad full of money. Don't care. They're on vacation.
Yeah, they're splurging.
Yeah, and they come. Most people, I would say, come from out of town to go to Nissan to watch Morgan Wallen or whoever it is, and they don't care. They're out already. They've been pre-gaming.
Yeah.
When you're drunk, you don't mind handing over $20 for a beer.
All my friends since pot became legal in Canada, like I got a lot of non-alcoholic friends now up there, because booze is very expensive in Canada. If you didn't know,
Yeah,
it's taxed a lot more than is here, so it's more than double
yeah.
for a case of beer
Wow.
and for like a bottle of whiskey or whatever. And it's evidently not good for your liver. So, party pooper.
Allegedly.
So my friends, like Friday and Saturday night consist of like popping a gummy and like maybe a couple beers. Like,
And you're way more chill.
yeah,
I preach the weed is way better than alcohol for people.
I'm sure it is, and from a liver sense, like clearly, like
nobody's overdosed on it. Yeah.
Well, nobody's and there's not much hatred on the weed.
Yeah. It's like people are just kind of fed up with spending that much money, drinking that many calories and stuff.
And you get a bunch of rednecks on the liquor, and there's going to be some fights.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Me included.
Hey, how different was this? I went to SARS Fest outside of Toronto.
Isn't that like a disease?
Sounds like a disease.
Yeah, that's how different the times were.
SARS.
Yeah. Back when we had SARS in like 2001, we had a festival that included AC/DC, Rush, and the Rolling Stones were the headliner. AC/DC opened for the Stones.
Oh,
there was
my God.
400,000 people by Pearson Airport for this concert. It was the coolest, raddest thing I had ever been to, and it was like everybody was just smoking weed. This was actually before it was legal, but back in the day, like even then, cops didn't care.
Yeah,
and so there were no incidents.
Really?
Yeah,
there was no violence.
I'm telling you,
no fights.
Canada's got a little bit to do with that.
Yeah,
everybody's so nice in Canada.
Yeah, I don't know.
Not everybody.
Yeah,
mostly.
Most of them.
Mostly.
What?
So, we're not going to talk about Trudeau.
Oh, God.
But Jason wants to.
Dude, I do love Canada. I loved Vancouver. Spent a long time there. We toured Vancouver over to Toronto.
I love my country. I love Canada. I mean, America has given me America. And I've got this weird hybrid accent that I'm aware of now.
You really don't.
Really? No.
Really do not.
Do I sound Canadian to you
yes,
guys?
100%.
Really?
Like you were just dug out of Canada's butthole. I mean,
holy jeez! Like you should hear my friends, like where I'm from, my hometown. They sort of like there's a lot of really hard R's and accents. So when I moved to Nashville, I became aware of the way I sounded.
Then that's different.
Yeah.
Like we still hear you as you have that very pure and just that very
it can get worse.
Yeah.
It can get worse. Well, a great example is Jordan Peterson on YouTube. Jordan talks
Kermit the Frog.
Yes, it's very the people put that together like it's about centering yourself or running the world properly. Adopting responsibility for your life, order, chaos, and so that's those are my people. I mean, so when I moved to Nashville, and it was Phil Billy, and we would be cutting the first record, and I my first record in Nashville, he was like, that just won't do. Like he'd say, "Get you south on JB." It's the Gulf of Mexico, not the Gulf of Mexico.
Dude, he's the weirdest Canadian I've ever met. I mean, I mean this in a nice way because he's an amazing person.
Yeah.
But when I first met Phil Billy and he told me he was from Canada, I was like, no.
I didn't.
You're from Alabama.
Same.
He
lived for years
from Alabama.
Lived for years in Florida.
Yeah, that's
in
right.
Like redneck Florida.
Yeah.
With the real country people. And
they'll cure you of the Canada.
Well, that's where Larry the Cable Guy got his whole persona out of Florida. Like that's where he was living. But Phil he can do impressions of East Coasters though. He can flip and all of a sudden he looks like a maritimer. Yeah. And his whole vibe changes. Yeah. He's quite a comedian himself. But
he's hilarious.
Moving here. And I have 2 Canadian kids and 2 American kids. And so, and especially politically, I've got friends in Canada and stuff. And people talk shit about America and the hot button issues and everything else.
Yeah.
But it's like, I'm never going to be that guy. I'm the most American patriot, Canadian transplant you've ever met in your life. I'm so proud to have a green card. I love both countries for what they've given me in my life. But I mean, like I said at the beginning of this, I moved here with nothing, man.
Yeah.
Nothing but hopes and dreams in the most cliche way, in the way that people all move to Nashville from everywhere. And I've got this beautiful house out in Hendersonville, bought and paid for with music money.
That's great.
We raise our babies and God and country provide, and I'm truly grateful for it, man.
Well, dude, we're so happy to have you here, and you've become a good friend, and I hope we get to do more stuff together, honestly.
Yeah.
We just got a song back today that we recorded.
Heck yeah.
It sounds pretty awesome. I think let's do it when we get done. Yeah.
It's like songwriter Christmas when new mixes and new songs come in.
You forget it. That's the other thing. I'm like, oh, now I got to sing it, but it's okay. Now we got to wait for the mix. And then, then you get it and you're like, Christmas.
Yeah.
Christmas. Let's
May
go.
that never wear off.
May it never wear off. off.
Yeah.
Where can people find you?
Give me a follow right now on Instagram. And TikTok.
The Nike talk.
You can find Jason dancing in his Nikes.
Yeah. I'm Jason Blaine official on Instagram. It's got the blue check mark. I think on TikTok I have imposters that have more followers than me.
Nice.
Yeah.
But I am on TikTok. I just had a meeting with one of my girls from the Orchard today, and I really do need to work that more because those things all work together. Your TikTok numbers and your Spotify and the DSPs want to know that you have followers in all fronts. So you're going to see me much more on there. And but yeah, please give me a follow. Definitely follow me on Spotify. Check out shout out to all the boy mamas out there. I got this song called Boy Mama that I'm really proud of. It's a video on YouTube, but if you're a boy mama out there, the song might be for you.
Yeah, single boy mamas. No.
Wow.
Does
that deserve a
it's a church prayer thing. I don't care where it is. You bow your head and close your eyes. Lord, we'd like to thank you. Thank you for this day. It's always the women, all women. And then every once in a while you hear the old man go, amen, just in the middle of the prayer. Anyway, dude, thank you for coming in here today. Also,
super fun.
Have you ever spun a wheel of shame?
Oh,
in a world, there's a Canadian.
See, there's your talent.
Yeah.
That voice right there.
One man spins one wheel.
Dude, why are you not voicing all of the movies?
I don't know.
That's killer.
Here we go. Get up on it. Put your finger in it.
So yeah,
on it.
Oh, man.
Okay. Wow.
What are we gonna do? Just
give her a spin. Just give it a spin.
This is going to determine your life path moving forward.
Yeah. Here we go. Round and round it goes.
I feel like I could have spun that better than I did.
Yeah, I think you did a great job. It's not bolted down. Your big Ottawa muscles.
It says, I think we're right in between America and Dragon Breath.
Let's do America since you're
America.
Yeah,
I
America.
like it. Well, you have two things. You're gonna see how much you paid attention in America class down there at the
Okay.
And then you have one more thing you have to do is an initiation.
So this is fun because
I about guarantee that I know more about America than Americans know about Canada.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
That's probably not hard.
So you've been here for 18 years, right?
18.
Yep. And it was funny, we were talking about this at the retreat because, like you just said earlier, you have 2 Canadian kids and 2 American kids. And so, like, your firstborn was 3 months old when y'all moved here.
Yes.
She just turned 18, been her whole life, not an American citizen.
That's right.
And that's, I was telling you, I was like, man, that is the weirdest thing I've ever heard. It's like, how is that even a thing?
Yeah, she'll have to get her citizenship on her own now that she's over 18. And if she doesn't, then she'll have to move to Canada, and where everybody says A. She says, why does Grandma say A all the time?
Yeah.
Like,
my kids ask me,
that's your people.
Why does Grandma say tard all the time? I'm like, what did she say? He's tard.
She's so tired.
Tired.
Oh, tired.
Yeah. East Kentucky, tired. Are you just going to cherry pick and pick and choose?
Well,
that you want
I got to be a little easy on Jason.
No, you don't. He's eating the bald eagle. He's drank the blood of Ronald Reagan.
So if and when you do become an American citizen, hopefully sooner than later, are you prepared to eat a bald eagle?
Yeah, you have to eat deep fried bald eagle.
I know that's not true.
Sure, it's the rite of passage for every American.
Here's a fun one. What do Abraham Lincoln, Walt Disney, and Bill Gates all have in common?
Oh shit! I mean, are they all from Kentucky or something?
No,
Lincoln's from Illinois.
Lincoln was not from Illinois.
I thought he was
born in Kentucky.
Oh, he's born in Kentucky.
See, look, I knew that.
He did.
But I can't imagine what they all have in common.
Bill Gates from California, right?
Shit, I failed already.
Probably.
And then who else?
Disney.
Walt Disney. Oh, they're all frozen.
They never graduated from college.
Oh,
Gates.
Lincoln was a lawyer or something.
Bill Gates, founder of Microsoft, wrote his first software program at the age of 13.
Yep.
That was the fun fact.
Yep.
Yeah.
I feel like that's like not like American history.
That's more of
knowledge.
Americana. It's more of Americana.
Yeah.
I went deeper than that. I'm like, they're all from Kentucky.
Yeah, I liked that you knew Lincoln was from Kentucky.
Yeah.
And I hate that Colt didn't know that.
I did, but I got confused.
I love American history.
That's the funny thing about like people who have to become American citizens. They have to know so much.
And they know more than we do.
Yeah.
And if you're born here, it's like, I don't have to know anything.
What's he going to do now, Colt?
Let's see. So now we have the Atomic Rhino. This is our Twangtown initiation. Have you ever done smelling salts before?
Smelling salts.
No.
Yeah.
Well, today you are.
Oh, man. Okay.
It's
All right,
easy.
So
it's easy.
I have here a bottle of the Atomic Rhino smelling salts.
Okay.
So I'm going to take the lid off.
Yeah.
And what you're going to do is you're going to hold it about right here.
Okay.
And go.
Yeah.
And that's it. We've all
Breathe
done it.
out.
It's perfectly safe. You're not going to shit your pants.
How close? Yeah, okay.
About right here.
Right here.
Okay.
Right below the chin. Just
Yeah.
That's
All right.
it.
Just real quick.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Okay. Wow.
Right?
Good thing I didn't go any closer.
I feel
like,
there was
wow.
a second pause
Oh, yeah.
in it, and
Whoa,
oh
the room
my
now.
Lord,
Yeah.
That reminds me. That was like flashbacks to like science class in like junior year of high school, wherever they're like, and whatever you do, don't smell the ammonia. And I had already done it. You're like, yeah. I'm like, first thing I did is open up the little jar and put it right up here and just pull on.
Dude, we did it. We got. I mean, I
Punch right
got
in the
up
face.
in there on it and just sniffed, and my eye hurt.
I remember Jim Ed.
What is
right?
that stuff? That is powerful
It's
stuff.
just
it's
ammonia.
ammonia.
That is
Just
ammonia.
concentrated ammonia.
Oh, okay. Well, same thing then. Yeah.
Yeah, we almost killed Jim Ed.
Yeah.
Did he hold it closer than I did?
He got in it.
He was our first one before we made this like a regular thing. He spun the wheel and did it.
How about
he
like
literally went.
That's crazy. How about
God.
Jim Ed? For the listeners out there, if they don't know who Jim Ed is, like we're at Top Golf a couple years ago, and he's giving me golf tips, and I found out after the fact that he's the guy that scored all of the string aid arrangements on the Eagles.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, we
records.
had him on. He talked all about
Yeah.
his life, and it's absolutely amazing.
I had no idea. I'm just
Dude
like,
worked for NASA too.
come on.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he was on tour with them for that last run they did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
where they did the
symphony.
Hotel California
Yeah.
top to bottom with
He
the
was
symphony. and
he like led the symphony.
yeah,
It was unreal.
I want to go so bad to the
Yeah, dude.
Sphere.
Yeah.
We should go to the Sphere. You guys want to go to the Sphere?
I'd
Yeah,
love to go
that
to the
looks incredible.
Let's call
Sphere.
Jim. Call Jim Ed and hey Jim.
Hey, can we go to the Sphere?
Can you get us some tickets?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dude, thank you for being here.
guys, thank
Appreciate you.
Thanks
Yeah.
for having me on. This is a lot of fun, boys.
Yeah. Colt, tell them where they can find us, me, you, and them.
Yeah, so
Us and
we
them.
are available on all streaming platforms. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter,
Follow,
Instagram. Rate, subscribe, follow.
Cool.
And again, if you are listening to us on Spotify, you can now leave us comments.
Leave
if
us
you
comments.
So feel the necessary desire to
Tell
do
us how
so.
hot I am.
David wants to know how hot
Yes.
he is. Rate him on a scale of 1 to 2.
Let's go.
Can you do my intro for my live show, ladies and gentlemen?
Ladies and gentlemen, in a world, Jason Blaine kicks ass.
We're gonna talk.
I'm
We're
in,
gonna make
bro.
that
I'm
happen.
in. All right.
Bye, everybody.
See y'all.
See y'all.
Right.